tonight, because they've been here since midnight, if not earlier, many of them, to celebrate the newest CD by Bruce Springsteen called The Rising. Okay, here we are. Welcome. I'm Jane Hansen.
And good morning, everybody. I'm Maurice Dubois. 26 years since an album first debuted from Bruce Springsteen. This latest one came out, what, at midnight? And everybody here is ready to hear some of it. Going to be doing a concert with Katie and Matt right here at Convention Hall along the boardwalk in Asbury Park. These people are only going to get to watch it on a big screen.
Yes, that's very true.
But they're fired up nonetheless.
They are fired up because, of course, the focus of this new CD, which Bruce Springsteen says he wrote over the course of only 8 weeks, really is considered to be the first work by a recording artist that consists of a lot of September 11th, and there's a lot of poignancy to it, and we'll get to that in a bit. We're also going to talk a bit about this part of New Jersey, Asbury Park. It's kind of had its down moments over the last few years, ever since the late 70s, and we're going to show you how it has great plans for revitalization, and we are thrilled to be talking about that, as are the residents here.
That's right. As the title of the album says, The Rising, perhaps that could apply to Asbury Park as well. We've got a lot planned for you this morning, but first let's get you started with the weather for today. And right now it's pretty comfy right here along the shore. Let's check in with Chris and see what's happening everywhere else. Morning, Bud.
All right, good morning, guys. Somebody needs to tell those folks it's 5:01 in the morning. Settle down a little bit. Plenty of time. They're going to spend all their energy in the heat out there this morning. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. And low 80s throughout the tri-state as we look at those readings in the middle 80s in the city right now. There are a few widely scattered showers to our west with a cool front that may briefly cool us down a little bit later on this morning, early this afternoon. As we take a look at the aerial perspective from Chopper 4, there you see it over Asbury Park. Partly sunny, hot out forecast today, 97. Heat advisory stay in effect. And then tonight, partly cloudy to clear skies with a low temperature of 75. The key is the humidity will be lifted. All right, that's the latest look at the weather now. We're heading over to Jana Maurice.
You're coming back here, Chris. Let me tell you, it's really pleasant right here. I've been waiting for my hair to curl, but so far, so good.
I got to tell you, though, 5:01, 5:02 in the morning. We got 2 hours of this. You think we're going to hang on?
I think not only that, but
so?
they're waiting until 8 o'clock, which is when Bruce will actually begin his concert, and most of them will see it outdoors through monitors and through the sound system that's been set up. But as you can imagine, it's been quite hectic around here. They haven't had this kind of action for a very long time on the roads here. Let's see how the rest of the roads are doing with Karen Stewart. Katie is off today. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Jane. Hi, Maurice. Good morning, everybody. We have construction to tell you about first, and we're going to go live to the Panasonic Jam Cam. The first shot, you're going to see the LIE at the Grand Central Parkway. You can see a little bit of a backup there. Construction at the Grand Central Parkway. Only the right lane open on the service road, so leave a little extra travel time there. Should be cleared shortly. We go next to Brooklyn over at the Gowanus inbound side of the Gowanus Expressway. See lots of volume there. We've got road construction cleared. 2 lanes reopened Prospect Expressway to the Battery Tunnel, but it's taking a while for everything to ease out there. Hudson River crossings look good, except at the George Washington Bridge. Outbound side, road construction, and then we've got some construction on the inbound side as well on that lower level. Holland and Lincoln tunnels look terrific. East River crossings are fine and no problems at all to report to you right now with mass transit. Buses and trains, everything running on or close to schedule. Jane and Maureen, back to you with all the fun in Asbury Park.
Okay,
Well,
Karen.
thank you.
We are going to have a good time here. But first, we've got some business to do. We've got the news to tell you about. Felicia Taylor, let's start with you.
Thanks, Jane and Maurice. Those are some ardent fans. We begin this morning with the heat and power outages across Manhattan and Queens this morning. Some residents in Jamaica have been in the dark since 10:30 last night. That's where McGee Hickey is right now, live with the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Felicia. Imagine trying to sleep through this heat wave through the night with no power for your fan or your air conditioner. Well, that's what 4,800 customers in Brooklyn and Queens had to go through throughout the night. But from our just eyewitness view of the situation here, it looks like the power is back on here in this section of Jamaica, Queens. A 5-by-5 block area of this Jamaica neighborhood lost power last night at about 10:30. But as you can see, the street lights are on and lights in people's homes are back on. Fire officials also saying they responded to several late night and early morning fires at transformers. And Con Ed is saying that there still are some customers without power right now in Douglaston and Whitestone sections of Queens. That's all because of problems at the Orion Power Station in Astoria. We also want to tell everyone about the ways they can conserve power, because Con Ed is bracing themselves and the rest of New York City for a very tough day today because it's going to be so hot and humid. So here are the power-saving tips that we should all try to follow. Turn your air conditioner off when you're not at home today. When you are at home, set the AC thermostat to 78 degrees. Use a fan instead of the air conditioner if possible. You save a lot of power there. Close the shades and blinds to keep the rooms dark and cool inside. And use major appliances like dishwashers or washing machines only early in the morning or late at night, if at all possible. That's the situation from here in Jamaica, Queens. We'll have the latest on these scattered power outages throughout the morning. I'm McGee Hickey. Back to you, Felicia.
All right, thanks, McGee. Investigators have found a pair of recording devices from the Amtrak train that derailed outside Washington, D.C. More than 90 people were hurt Monday, 6 critically, when the train jumped the tracks in Maryland. Federal officials say the event recorders, similar to airplane black boxes, will tell them how fast the train was going when it derailed. There's speculation that yesterday's extremely hot weather may have caused the tracks to warp. 500,000 people are expected to turn out today for a special mass to be said by Pope John Paul II in Guatemala. The ailing pontiff arrived there yesterday from Canada. He appeared tired from his rigorous schedule. Today's service will help canonize a local 17th century missionary who had dedicated his life to helping the poor. After the Mass, the Pope will leave for Mexico City. You can get the latest on Pope John Paul's tour of the Americas by visiting WNBC.com. Thousands of Palestinians are defying the 40-day Israeli curfew in the West Bank town of Nablus. They've gone out into the streets in search of food and medicine for their families. It's the strongest challenge to Israeli restrictions in the West Bank, and while Israeli troops are surrounding the city, none have made any attempts to force residents back to their homes. Congress is expected to hold hearings this week on what to do about Iraq. This as Iraq is stepping up its challenges to U.S. and British patrols in the no-fly zones. The latest incident came on Sunday when coalition planes bombed a communications bunker. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says there will be more airstrikes to stop Iraq from making weapons of mass destruction. The Bush administration has been suggesting an invasion of Iraq in order to force Saddam Hussein from power. This is sentencing day for Barry Smiley and his wife Judith. They were charged with kidnapping a Queens baby 22 years ago, taking him to New Mexico and raising him as their own. The Smileys lived under different names and called the boy, who is now 23, Matthew Prop. Last month, they agreed to a plea deal. Barry Smiley will receive 6 years in prison, his ailing wife 6 months. In a Cleveland federal court today, ousted Congressman James Traficant faces sentencing. In April, he was convicted of 10 corruption counts. Federal guidelines call for a little more than 7 years behind bars. Officials predict his sentencing could be a day-long affair, with his lawyer calling for leniency. Asian markets rose overnight following Monday's third largest single-day point gain for the Dow. Question is, will there be a Wall Street repeat? Yesterday, the bulls trampled the bears, the 3 major averages gaining better than 5% as bargain hunters bought right up to the closing bell. The Dow Industrials gaining better than 447 points. President Bush is expected to sign a corporate fraud bill today, bringing reform to accounting practices and tough penalties to those who violate them. Meantime, amid all the corporate scandals, a new CNN USA Today Gallup poll shows the public think Democrats would do a better job handling the economy than Republicans. The nation's experts have come together, and they're now saying the Earth will not be hit by a giant asteroid in 17 years. Astronomers had predicted a 1 in 250,000 chance of a catastrophic impact on February 1st of 2019. But those scientists spent all weekend poring over the data. They pulled out 6 potential impact dates, and they expect to dismiss another possible D-Day in 2060. And those are the headlines. Jana Maurice, back to you, where I'm sure it's much safer on the beach.
It is nice on the beach, and guess what? It's crowded.
That it is.
Oh, it is. This crowd is going nuts. By the way, Bruce isn't getting too much attention. Here's the front of the Asbury Park Press this morning. There he is. Greetings from Asbury Park.
The title of his first album, of course, right?
Of course, it was indeed. And there are people here carrying a lot of signs, because I hope they'll get them on the Today Show a little later on this morning. One over there saying, Bruce brought my husband and I together.
Imagine that, huh?
There you go.
Well, speaking of the fans, Linda Lopez has been chatting with them and trying to hear herself think above them all. So let's go down to Linda, see what's happening. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Maurice, thanks, Jay. Yeah, it's a really good morning here. Tons of people. I don't know if you can tell, but this crowd stretches all the way down to the beach, down to the sand. It's going pretty well down here. But I have a really special guest. I'm so excited to be here with Dainsy. Dainsy is the great-granddaughter of Madame Marie. Now, Madame Marie does psychic readings right on the beach here. She's been here for how many years?
1932.
Since 1932, and now you've taken over. Madame Marie is actually someone who's been mentioned in a lot of Bruce's songs.
A lot of Bruce's songs. Sandy's 4th of July is one of them, definitely.
Definitely, and now you do the psychic readings there. I know there's a story where Marie actually told Bruce that he'd be really successful one day. Is that true?
He was a young boy, and he was, you know, he spent a lot of time here on the boardwalk. And he came in for a reading, and she told him to stick with it, that he'll be successful, and it worked out.
Worked out, really? Do you have any good psychic predictions for us today?
It's going to be a good concert today. A lot of people.
I could have made that one. All right, Maurice and Jane, I actually want to test you guys. I have some Bruce trivia here. Are you guys up on your Bruce trivia?
Absolutely.
Is this
These are not too hard, actually.
Give us your best shot.
All right, first one. Bruce Springsteen got his first guitar after seeing Elvis Presley perform on what TV show?
Ed Sullivan.
Oh, that was easy. We're getting harder now.
Keep going.
What was the name of Bruce's very first band?
The Castiles.
How does Jane know that?
Well, we read from the same crib sheet, but go ahead.
I am highly impressed. All right, true or false? Bruce Springsteen has never had a #1 hit.
That's true.
That's true.
Absolutely
That is true. He's gone as high as #2 and never to #1.
Had a bunch
Okay,
of
what
top
do we
10s.
get
He
for a
even won an
prize?
Academy Award, but
I'll
no
come up and
#1.
give you a great big kiss. How about that?
That's okay for Maurice, but what
We
about
have no
me?
trouble with that.
Daisy actually maybe might give you a reading. How about that?
All right.
We'll think about that one. Okay.
We'll see in a
Thanks,
little
Linda.
bit. Thank you. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do a little bit of other business, including going overseas to London and checking out the market.
And back here in Asbury Park, we're going to talk about the local economy. We're going to talk about the fans, the music, a whole lot more coming from Asbury Park. But first, Bruce's hometown. Welcome back, everybody, to Asbury Park. We are on the Jersey Shore with a boisterous crowd, hearing the title song from The Rising, Bruce Springsteen's album. Bruce is going to be playing on the Today Show at 8 o'clock this morning. And these folks have either risen very early, or in the case of many people, they've been up all night. And they are ready to go for some Bruce this morning.
Well, and of course, the Stone Pony, which is one of Bruce's very favorite bars, a place he's played at often, a place where he really got his start here in Asbury Park, has been open for, I don't know, what, last 24 hours or something like that?
And it's not closing anytime soon.
It's not closing anytime soon, and they've been here having a good time. And frankly, this is the most crowded this boardwalk has probably been for quite a long time. Before we get to talking about that, though, we need to go overseas and check out the markets after that rousing day on Wall Street yesterday.
Yeah, let's talk about your money. Simon Hobbs, good morning.
Hi, Simon.
I would give anything to be where you guys are. Jenna Maurice, very good morning to you. We've got here at the moment a very interesting position where after this very strong rally that erupted, of course, on huge volume yesterday in the States, 5% on the NASDAQ, 5% on the big board. So now people are questioning where the rally goes from here. Will it continue, or is it a trap that may pull some investors in before we lash back down towards those multi-year lows? I can tell you that Europe is nervous. We opened in positive territory. We're now coming back down. The big question is where the States trades today and some big macroeconomic data as well. Meantime, BP has just come through, bang in line with expectations. So Europe's largest company doing the business. But it's absolutely crucial where we go over these next few trading sessions. Have a great day. I'll see you later, guys.
All right, you
great
too.
so far.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Simon.
much. Appreciate it. Of course, I just referred a little bit, or a couple of seconds ago, to the economy in Asbury Park and its ups and downs, particularly after the riots back in the 1970s. Had a pretty tough go of it.
It certainly has. And right now we're joined by City Councilwoman Kate Molina. She's here with us up early. Good morning to you, Kate.
Hi, how are you doing? This is pretty
We're doing
exciting.
pretty well. This is as many people as you've seen in Asbury Park in a long, long time.
Well, every time Bruce Springsteen shows up, the crowd seem to follow.
But it's been tough here for a number of years. Tell us how tough.
Oh, it's been extremely tough. I moved here in 1988, which was when we thought the whole beachfront was going to be redeveloped, and the redeveloper went bankrupt, and they basically held us prisoner for 12 years. We were in bankruptcy court. So we've just, in the past year, signed a new agreement and got out of all the litigation.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that agreement because there's a plan in process, a $1.2 billion plan that will, if it is successful, will make this place look completely different during the course of the next decade.
If it isn't, you'll see me and the rest of the council floating out in the ocean in a couple of years. But yeah, the plan, it's a 10-year plan. We should be kicking it off in the next year. It'll cover the whole beachfront, and about 2 blocks in, there'll be new entertainment, new housing, and with it, there'll be money to help redevelop some of the other parts of Asbury Park that have been neglected, too.
I mean, it would seem that there's no reason a seashore town like this shouldn't be bumping with people because everywhere else is along here.
Yeah, I mean, we are right now, I mean, we've got the best opportunity in the universe to have good things happen here. This town has suffered from every setback you can imagine over the past 30 years, but I think we're ready to turn it around now, and we're not going to go back.
There is a sign that's just across the street over here that says, it's talking about Bruce's album, The Rising, and it talks about how that's what he hopes will happen in Asbury Park. He's had a tremendous influence here. He's never given up on the place.
No, he absolutely hasn't. He's been back the last couple of holidays. He's given more money to charity than you can imagine. He's had a tremendous influence on our downtown, which is coming back, running promotions to get people in to see the merchants. It's just been wonderful.
You going to make him the mayor someday?
I don't know that he'd want to be, but we'll have him back every time he wants to come.
I think it'd be a landslide. Councilwoman, thanks so much for getting up with us.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Enjoy this day.
Yeah,
I think it's all about you guys.
Yeah, let's just hope the temperature stays down.
So far, so good. Thanks again. All right, still ahead this morning, we're going to have a conversation with the mayor of Asbury Park. We're also going to have a conversation with the E Street Band drummer, Max Weinberg.
Also known as one of Conan O'Brien's sidekicks.
That would be true.
Then we're also going to check in and do all the usual stuff we do with the traffic and the business and the weather and talk to Chris, etc. And we're going to go to some of Bruce Springsteen's hangouts. You don't want to miss that part of the show. Meantime, as we leave you for just a moment, let's listen to Springsteen's Human Touch. Asbury Park on this Tuesday morning, July the 30th. That is from Bruce Springsteen's new CD released at midnight, and there are an awful lot of people here on the beach that came to get their CDs and to wait for him in concert 8 a.m. this morning right here on NBC on the Today Show. So we decided to come down and give you a little sneak preview.
I like this one.
I do too.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
Feel to it.
You know, if you look at the lyrics to this, and it's been said that he wrote this very quickly after September 11th, so much of it refers to the poignancy and the sadness and the grief of that day, but there's also a lot of optimism, and I think that's where that title comes from, Waiting on a Sunny Day.
Yeah.
So
empathy, pain, optimism, all kind of wrapped into one in typical Bruce style, right?
It is, and it's, you know, Time Magazine has him on the cover this week, and it basically...
You see this all over the place this week.
And it talks about all of what he did right after September 11th, and that he doesn't want to be known for it. And apparently some of the lyrics from on the songs come from people he's spoken with who have lost loved ones, and how important it was for him to A, talk with them and comfort them, but B, he doesn't want to be known for it.
Yeah, he says that's not what it's all about. All right, right now we're going to check the traffic as we continue here on this Tuesday morning. See what's happening on the roads. Karen, hi there.
Hi, Maurice. Hi, Jane. Good morning, everybody. Well, we're going to go to the Alexander Hamilton Bridge first. Overnight construction is there. Well, it's actually cleared right now. You can see we are doing pretty well. We've got the construction crews with the blinking lights all ready to clear up that construction. And things seem to be in pretty good shape. Jerome Avenue to the George, so don't worry about that. Let's go to Brooklyn again. Gowanus Expressway inbound, northbound BQE combination. Look at that slow traffic. Just a little bit under the speed limit. Construction cleared, though, from the Prospect into the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. Outer Bridge Crossing, Staten Island bound, guess what? Everything's cleared. Overnight construction gone. Hudson River Crossing, Light, Lincoln and Holland look great. GW Bridge, that outbound construction still there, but it is in the process of getting cleared. And mass transit looks good this morning, too. Surprisingly enough, Amtrak trains reporting no delays despite the problems that they had yesterday. Everything running on or close to schedule. And by the way, in the city today, we do have alternate side parking rules and regulations in effect citywide. Jane and Maurice, back to you.
Thank you very much, Karen. Of course, we are right on the beach, and even though there have been many, many improvements to the beaches here in the Jersey Shore over the last few years, some of them are being closed with increasing frequency, and it's not hypodermic needles that is washing the shore, however.
New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson has this report now on the problem and one man who sees himself as part of the solution.
Spot a floating bottle in the Shark River, and within seconds it's scooped up by Brian Haggerty. Last summer, the Shark was simply a playground for him. This year, after getting sick while wakeboarding, it's a cause.
Felt like bugs were crawling on my skin for like 2 days. I had pus coming out of my nose. I went to the doctors, and he said I had a really bad infection.
The Shark is still a playground for others, but it is a troubled river. With a building boom that seems unabated these days, more and more pollution is running off the ground and into storm drains that empty directly into the Shark River. Pesticides, gas, oil, and worse, all go downstream on rainy days.
You over-fertilize your lawn, and you leave it on the sidewalk. When it rains, it disappears. Well, it didn't disappear. It came right here. You know, you don't clean up after your dog, and when it rains, it disappears. It didn't disappear. It came right here.
So Haggerty has started his own environmental group to save the Shark River, and it is nearly a full-time occupation now. He regularly tests the waters here to prove that fecal coliform often exceeds the limits, and in just a matter of months, his campaign has been embraced by long-standing environmentalists.
We're literally loving our coastal environment to death by building, everyone wanting to live and to be near the shore and paving it over, paving paradise.
Cindy Zipp's Clean Ocean Action is busy on several fronts. The latest, new dredging proposals that would dump PCB-contaminated mud into the ocean, just 3.5 miles off the beaches of Sandy Hook. The muck would come from dredging around the Navy's Earl Weapons Pier near Sandy Hook. At risk, the fish that would swim through the dump area. These bass are being raised at a National Marine Fisheries Lab for a sophisticated experiment to monitor pollution levels where contaminated mud has been dumped in the past. Fish caught here may well have swum through that dump environment.
What we're trying to do is to lower the levels of contamination in the ocean so that in the future our fish will be safe to eat without any restrictions.
For Today in New York, Brian Thompson, News Channel 4.
And they certainly are working on the environment and on the environment's image. Take a look at this bottle of water here. This is actually an ad put out by the Asbury Park Press, and here it says, compliments of the press and the coalition for one of the local businesses. But, you know, as it turns out, this bottled water here was spring water from Canada. As it turns out. But who cares?
I thought it was from Bruce Springsteen's well.
Nobody cares.
No such thing.
It's the local water. I know. Here's some people make
but
some
you know
noise.
what? That water will taste great today because it's going to get hot here. Although right now, it's beautiful. Well, you're listening to the fans behind us, and of course, they're all gathered here today and have been for always because they can't wait to hear the concert a little later on when Bruce Springsteen takes the stage to play parts of his new CD called The Rising. Let's take a break. First, though, from his streets of Philadelphia, a clip and the sound. Back in a moment.
This is a special presentation from News Channel 4 and Today in New York. Live from Asbury Park.
Welcome back. It's 5:30 on a Tuesday morning, July the 30th, 2002. We're on the boardwalk at Asbury Park live this morning where the boss is going to have his first concert with his brand new album. It's called The Rising, and a lot of people have arisen to be here with him on this Tuesday morning as we welcome you back. It's a little sticky, a little muggy, but it's going to be a pretty nice day. Welcome back, everyone, and good morning. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Jane Hansen. Self-assignment, huh? Going to the beach?
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day today, and of course all these people have been here, many of them since before midnight, because that's when they first released the CD. It's been 26 years since Bruce Springsteen's debut album, about a decade since he played with the guys from the E Street Band, and of course he's going on a nationwide and worldwide tour beginning in early August. Just got handed the Star Ledger from this morning. There he is, front cover. Bruce is there. In fact, he's in the front of a lot of newspapers this morning, as he was in the New York, or at the front of Time magazine, etc. So he's getting a lot of attention for this CD, and we're going to hear it later on in the Today Show.
That we are. Right now, though, let's talk about this mugginess. that's in the air. It's not too bad by the shore, but let's see what's happening elsewhere. Chris, what's happening weather-wise?
All right, good morning, guys. Also rising the temperature again today. Temperatures this morning are in the upper 70s to the low and middle 80s in the urban areas as we take a look at it. Again, readings are cooler to the west. There is a cool front trying to move toward us. It may spawn an isolated shower or thunderstorm late this morning or early on this afternoon, but hot, hot, hot. One more time, heat advisories in effect. Forecast high in the city today, 97. Again, just watch out for that threat of an isolated thunderstorm. And then for tonight, partly cloudy to clear, overnight low in the mid-70s. The better news about tonight, less humid over the next few days. We'll check out that 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to the beach. Maurice and James.
Oh, Chris, I wish you were here.
Yeah, you know, Bruce and I had some creative conflict a few years back, and it was recommended we stay apart for a little while longer.
You know what? I'd hate to come between the two of you guys.
But I know you spend a lot of time at the Jersey Shore, though, so it's one of your favorite spots to go. So, okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
We have a lot to talk about. We're going to get to much of it in a little bit, but first, let's go back to the studio and Felicia Taylor get the day's headlines. Felicia, hello.
Good morning, Jane and Maurice, and good morning, everyone. In the news this morning, the heat is on and the power is out for some people in Queens. Several small fires have also broken out at transformer facilities. Con Ed says an entire neighborhood has been in the dark since last night. McGee Hickey is live in Jamaica right now with the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Felicia. And definitely the heat is on here in Jamaica. About 4,800 Con Ed customers were without power in certain sections of Queens and Brooklyn throughout the night. There was a 5-by-5 block area of Jamaica that lost power at about 10:30 last night. I'm standing here at 110th Avenue and 155th Street, and the power did come back on here a couple of hours ago. A Con Ed spokesman is telling us that the power is off in sections of Douglaston and Whitestone because of problems at the Orion Power Station in Astoria. There have also been a few fires at different transformers throughout the city, and that's also causing some scattered outages. So we'll give you whatever information we get on those power outages. Con Ed is reminding everyone to conserve power today because they're bracing for another record high heat wave day. Reporting live from Jamaica, Queens, McGee Hickey. Back to you, Felicia.
All right, thanks, McGee. Investigators have found a pair of recording devices from the Amtrak train that derailed outside Washington, D.C. More than 90 people were hurt Monday, 6 critically, when the train jumped the tracks in Maryland. Federal officials say the event recorders, similar to airplane black boxes, will tell them how fast the train was going when it derailed. There's speculation that yesterday's extremely hot weather may have caused the tracks to warp. It's 120 years to life for the 2 men convicted in the murders over the Carnegie Deli. They were sentenced Monday in Manhattan. Sean Sally and Andre Smith were captured on this security video heading to, then leaving the 6th-floor apartment. They shot 5 people, 3 fatally, and made off with $800 in cash and a pound of marijuana. There's a new development in the dog mauling death case of Long Island native Diane Whipple. NBC News obtained the tape of a police interview that the dog's owner, Marjorie Knoller, gave to San Francisco police just after the attack. During her interrogation, Knoller appeared very calm.
Oh, the only fight was between him and her. She wouldn't do anything. If she started to try to get up and move away, he would start to attack. Right. Anytime she tried to move away from me, my physical body being on top of her.
The tape wasn't used at Knoller's trial and cannot be used during the appeal to reinstate her murder conviction. Knoller was sentenced to 4 years in prison for a lesser conviction on involuntary manslaughter charges. That's the news for now. Now back to Jane and Maurice at the beach.
All righty. Thank you so much, Felicia. Well, I've been over here chatting with the crowd, and I'm telling you, they are in rare form this morning. Linda Lopez is down there with them, and I think they've swallowed Maurice up. Do you see him, Linda?
Maurice is such a big fan. He's just somewhere in this sea of fans in here. It's actually a really good morning. I've got the good gig talking to everyone down here who brought down their signs to make sure they get on TV. And, of course, here's the lady that I'm going to ask. You have to tell me how Bruce brought my husband and I together. What's the story?
I was scrolling through personals on the internet, and I saw somebody who liked Bruce as much as I did. So I wrote to him, he wrote back, and we're married almost 8 months now.
Oh, my gosh. So you saw that he was a fan of Bruce, and you said, this is the man I'm going to marry.
Absolutely.
Tell me what time you came out here today. What time this morning?
Well, actually, honestly, I've been here since 10 o'clock this evening. Well, last evening. We took our time. We live 2 towns away, so it was easy for us to get here.
Keep them busy somehow. We have excellent Bruce memorabilia here, as you can see, and great signs. Of course, I'm going to grab this one. Bruce, I came for you. You knew I'd come over and say hi with that sign, didn't you? What's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, what time did you get out here this morning?
About 12:30.
Okay, now Bruce is getting all geared up to perform today. What's the one song you really hope he performs today?
Thunder Road. Look at our blanket here.
Oh, look at the Thunder Road lyrics. They like quilted a blanket. Actually, I have a little inside scoop for you, Jane. I heard that Bruce was actually practicing Thunder Road yesterday, so we might get a little of that today at the concert. I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. What about you guys?
Yeah, it sounds like a good deal to me, Linda. We're there with you.
A lot of people are keeping their fingers crossed because, as you know, during the show, often Bruce's people will get people from the back row and bring them to the front row and give them seats. So he's a man of the people.
They call him the man in black, the one who goes and pulls him down. Now,
speaking of men of the people, I got this from a guy who hangs on to Bruce memorabilia. Take a look at this. Yeah. This is from New Jersey Bell. In 1975, this is a warning to shut off his telephone.
Oh, come on.
Because he owed him $51.12.
Yeah, well,
there it is.
Buy the company now, probably.
Yeah, he could own New Jersey Bell, quite frankly, but hey, Bruce knows what he's talking about. By the way, his dad was a bus driver, prison guard, factory worker, so he knows where he came from, and that's what it's all about.
And he's always really connected with the working man and the working woman. And again, this album, too, is a lot of that on it. And
that's right.
As all of us have.
That's right.
Anyway, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the mayor of Asbury Park. We're going to talk to the drummer, Max Weinberg. And I'm going to take you on a little tour of Bruce's younger years, speaking of which. Meantime, let's listen to The Ghost of Tom Joad.
I'm sitting down here in the campfire line, searching for the ghost of Tom Joad.
Can't remember.
On the hood of the car in a darkened parking lot outside a bar.
No kidding.
And then he spent the next 11 months trying to avoid the contract.
This after trying to make it in New York, and it, didn't quite work out, so that's why he came back here, and that's why it worked.
People, and he wanted to be back with the people.
That's right. The people of Asbury Park in the paper are doing Bruce all the time. All Bruce all the time. They're going to have 6 days of Bruce all over the paper. I think they're going to have a little more than that, quite frankly, don't you?
I think they're going to have 10 years of Bruce because he has helped with the revitalization of this town, getting it back on the map and getting people excited about coming down here. And of course, if you just take a look at this boardwalk, it is an incredibly beautiful area of the beach, as is all of the Jersey Shore.
And you would think there's no reason this place shouldn't be packed with people all the time. We're going to talk with the mayor of Asbury Park right here in just a couple of minutes.
We are indeed.
Right now, however, let's talk about this weather because it started out cooler. We're starting to feel the stickiness, Chris, so we're hanging in there. What about the rest of the day?
Well, the rest of the day probably getting worse instead of better in terms of turning up the humidity and the temperature as well. Let's get a look at it. We have the heat advisories in effect throughout the tri-state area. Once again, excessive heat warning in New Jersey. Heat indices of 105 or better in the city as well. Heat indices between 100 and 105. That's the effective temperature, the combination between the temperature and the humidity. Jet stream doesn't bring any of that cooler air down out of Canada like it has over the past couple of weeks. And it looks like we're going to stay on the warm to hot side of things through the balance of the next 5 days. Speaking of which, let's get a look at that 5-day forecast. 97 today. Maybe a brief shower or thunderstorm to cool you off in a few spots. Most folks don't see that shower, though. 92 tomorrow, 91 Thursday with lower humidity. We bring back the mugginess on Friday at 88. And finally, by the weekend, it looks a little more comfortable. Middle 80s with lower humidity and some sunshine. Let's look at your weather. Let's head back to the shore now. Gina Maurice.
Cooler by the shore, Chris, as you always say.
Just a bit
Although
today.
I'm about 10 minutes I'm about 10 minutes away from Frizzy here. I can kind of feel it coming.
And then overheating, right?
Yes, that would be true. Good thing we're in a little bit of a shade here.
Yeah.
Let us go check the roadways. Karen Stewart, how's it looking right now?
Well, right now, Jane, we're going to go over to the George Washington Bridge. We've got a beautiful shot for you via the Panasonic Jam Cam. Outbound George, upper deck, lower construction there just cleared away. The lower deck's in good shape. However, over at that inbound upper deck, police activity is out there. You can see it right on the right-hand side of your screen from the Palisades Parkway approach. Broken down car in the process of getting cleared. Lincoln Tunnel, I should say. Holland Tunnel make very good alternates. East River crossings are in very good shape. And as far as mass transit goes, we look terrific. LIRR, no problems. PATH trains in good shape. Alternate side parking. It's in effect today, citywide in New York. Jane and Maurice, back to you on the boardwalk.
All right, thank you, Karen. In a little bit, we're going to meet the people who put this together, the rock and roll tour of the Jersey Shore. It, of course, focuses on Bruce Springsteen. Just another example of his popularity that has been around for so many years. It's been almost 3 decades, and he has not lost 1 ounce of it.
Hasn't lost an ounce of steam. Why? Let's find out. Linda Lopez with some answers. Hey, Linda.
He hasn't lost an ounce of steam. I personally am a huge Bruce fan, and I recently decided to take a look back and look at his work and see what he's accomplished, because you know he's an electrifying performer. He is an incredible rock star. His first album, as any of the fans here can tell you, was called
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey!
Greetings from Asbury Park. Now, unfortunately, that album didn't make a huge stir, but his live performances and all his subsequent albums, of course, did, and he became a huge star. Take a look. In late 1973, Springsteen tried again with The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Many called this album a combination between Van Morrison and Paul Butterfield's blues band. Although the album wasn't a major success, it got Bruce's name on the map with the song Rosalita. By the time Bruce recorded 1975's Born to Run, he was already getting the reputation of being a great live performer. He was featured on the cover of both Time and Newsweek, and some diehard fans were calling him the next Elvis Presley. Springsteen's first #1 album was 1980's The River, which spent 4 weeks at the top of the charts. His single, Hungry Heart, even made the top 5. Springsteen called the album a romantic one, saying he knew the realities of life, but also saw the possibilities.
We go down to the river, and into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we ride.
His darkest album ever came next, Through the Home-Recorded Nebraska in 1982. The album was an acoustic set that was filled with songs about both urban and moral decay.
Everything dies, that's a fact. And maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, put your hair up, and look me tonight.
Bruce's greatest commercial success came next with 1984's Born in the USA. The album contained an unprecedented series of 7 top 10 singles, including the title track, Born in the USA. It went platinum 7 times over. In 1992, Bruce released 2 albums without the E Street Band. It had been 5 years since he came out with his last album, and the first was titled Human Touch. It reflected the changes that Springsteen had undergone in 5 years' time. It immediately went platinum.
Just a little of that human touch.
The second album in 1992 was called Lucky Town. It was reportedly recorded quickly by Springsteen after he felt uneasy about Human Touch. Lucky Town also went platinum.
I'll wait for you. And should I fall behind,
course. I think we got a couple purchased already, just telling by this crowd. Jay Maurice, back to you.
Not hard to see why he's so popular. Pretty obvious, right?
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, the music's great.
And the guy himself.
Wait till you hear this new album. I mean,
Yeah.
the lyrics on it are poignantly beautiful. They're sad. They're empathetic. I mean, it's just, it's really...
One of these guys who comes from the heart. That's why people love him.
Yep.
Right now, we are going to take a break, and in a minute, we're going to have our sports with Otis Livingston back in New York.
But first, a clip from Bruce's Leap of Faith. Look at all those people that have been camped out on the beach. They haven't seen people on the beach like that for some time, and let's hope it's only a sign of things to come for Asbury Park, New Jersey, which has got a big revitalization plan underway. We're going to talk with the mayor about that in just a moment.
And you know there's room down here on the beach. You can make it in 2.5 hours from the city or less. So, hey, if you're in the neighborhood or not, jump in your car, come on down, because there's a lot of room for you. The boss is getting ready to play.
He's not playing until 8.
And that's right, you got time, so come on down. Grab a spot on the beach.
We've been having a lot of fun listening to the music and watching all the fans that have gathered here because, of course, most of them have been here much of the night. Can't wait to see
I talked to a
Bruce.
guy here at 9 p.m. last night. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
He's the first guy out here. Right now, however, it is sports time. Time to check in with Otis back in New York. See what happened last night. Morning, Otis.
Good morning, Maurice and Jane. Well, in his quest to stay in the Yankee rotation, El Duque came up with a marvelous performance last night in Texas, facing the former Yankee and Met Kenny Rogers. They call him the Gambler. The gamble doesn't pay off, and that pickoff attempt, Jason Giambi trots home on the errant throw, part of a 3-run first inning for the Yankees. Now let's move ahead to the top of the fourth. It's Jorge Posada at the ditch, and he feasts on that pitch. Deep to left and gone. His 18th of the year. Second homer in his many nights. Yanks take a 4-0 lead. Still in the fourth, Rondell White. That one's gone. His 11th of the year. 2-run shot. 6-0 Yankees. Like I said, El Duque was marvelous. Bottom of the fourth, 2 on, 1 out for Texas. Juan Gonzalez swinging. Next batter, Rafael Palmeiro. He goes down looking to end the threat. Hernandez goes 6 innings, allowing just 1 run. The Yanks win it 9-2. Red Sox lost, so the Yankee lead is now 5. Mets were off. They start a series with Houston tonight at Shea. The rest of the National League was also off, but the Phillies and Cards were busy making a trade. Philadelphia traded away all-star third baseman Scott Rowland to St. Louis. Rowland didn't want to stay in Philly, so it's Christmas in July. He goes from the last-place team to the team in the penthouse in the National League Central. In return, the Phillies get third baseman Placido Polanco, pitcher Bud Smith, and reliever Mike Timlin. Well, the Giants have finally signed their top draft pick, Jeremy Shockey, the tight end from Miami, 5 years, over $8.5 million. He'll be in camp today. Things got a little heated yesterday at Giants camp in Albany. Ouch. Coach Jim Fossil not at all happy with a rookie defensive back who tackled another rookie when he was already out of bounds. And he didn't mince words.
It was intense and pads, and they're going after each other. And I know the run back's going to go down, but we got to get in the open field. We don't go after them like that. That's stupid. That didn't show me a bit of toughness. I don't want that.
All right, NBA, 12 charges have been dropped against Allen Iverson of the Sixers, leaving 2 misdemeanor counts of making terroristic threats. And sorry, Knicks fans, Cleveland traded budding all-star guard Andre Miller along with Brian Stith to the Clippers for Darius Miles and Harold Jamison. Golf now, battle at Bighorn. Tiger Woods teaming with Jack Nicklaus. Best ball against the team of Sergio Garcia and Lee Trevino. Here's Nicklaus. Second shot on the par 4 ninth. A 7-iron. And he knocks it stiff, setting up birdie. Nicklaus and Woods won on the 16th hole. Tiger had 9 birdies on the day. And, of course, Maurice, you know what that's like to have about nine birdies on a day, right, Maurice?
And his
I know what it's like to watch 9 birdies on TV, and I saw them last night, and they were very nice.
Hey, Otis?
Great.
Yes.
Otis, you and the mayor of Asbury Park have something in common.
What's that? Is he bald?
You...
No.
Oh.
But you each have 5 kids.
Oh, that's
and
right.
And you both know each of their names, too. You don't forget them.
That's right. We never
impressive.
mix them up. Never mix them up.
No. All right, Otis. Thanks. We'll talk to you a little bit.
We'll see you in a bit. We're going to get to all the today's top stories in just a moment. Plus, we will talk with the aforementioned mayor of Asbury Park.
Also, our conversation with Max Weinberg, the drummer from the East Street Band. Linda's going to talk with some more fans. We are live in Asbury Park.
This is a special presentation from News Channel 4 and Today in New York. Live from Asbury Park.
On this Tuesday, July the 30th, we know how to stay cool to join a lot of cool people here on the beach in Asbury Park. And of course, the reason they're all gathered is because Bruce Springsteen will perform a concert on the Today Show at 8 o'clock this morning, and it's celebrating the release of his new CD called The Rising. People have been gathered here since around midnight when the Stone Pony, the infamous bar and club where Bruce got his start, has been open and has been handing out those CDs. And of course, it's a very exciting morning here in Asbury Park, a scene of revitalization, they hope, in the near future.
Indeed, The Rising. You see the sun has risen. All these folks have risen with us. Thousands of Bruce's closest and dearest friends. They don't even get to go inside the convention hall where the concert's going to be at 8 o'clock. Those tickets are sold out. They're going to get to watch it on a screen, but they're here nonetheless, and they are in force, and we are thrilled to have them with us.
There's some great spirit and enthusiasm here this morning, as there has been since the time that we arrived. And so far, they're not too hot. Let's go back to Chris in the studio and talk about the heat coming our way.
All right, guys, they look like they're holding up pretty good out there so far this morning. Temperature's not too bad yet in the upper 70s along the New Jersey shoreline. Lower 80s elsewhere in the city right now. We are in the low 80s as it is in Newark, 82 degrees. We've got fair skies out there right now. Area-wide readings, upper 70s, low 80s. There is a cold front to the west, and there are a few light showers out there. So there could be a shower, a thunder shower from late this morning into early on this afternoon. Otherwise, look for a steamy high today of 97. That's the forecast high. Yesterday's high was 96. Then into tonight, clear skies, a little less humid with a low of 75. It will get more comfortable by the end of this week. I'll tell you about that. Your 5-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Now back to Asbury Park.
All right, thank you very much. Nice little breeze blowing right now. I'm loving this. Cooler by the shore. It's true. Always is. Let's check the traffic right now. See what's happening with Karen Stewart back at Shadow Traffic. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Maurice. Hi, Jane. Good morning, everybody. We're going to give you the good news first and take a live shot of the Tappan Zee Bridge via the Panasonic Jam Cam. Little foggy, little hazy, but it looks great over the span. No construction, no speed reduction. We're good into the Tarrytown Toll south into Westchester County. Into Brooklyn next, Gowanus Expressway, inbound side of the Gowanus-BQE combination. You can see a little bit of company there, and that shot you're looking at is between the Belt and the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. The real volume comes a little bit further inbound between the Prospect Expressway and the Brooklyn Bridge, so be prepared for that. Earlier problems on the Palisades approach to the George cleared away very quickly. Things look good. No problems at the Lincoln and Holland. Mass transit is on time, even Amtrak. And alternate side parking in effect today citywide. Back now to Asbury Park, Jane Maurice.
Thank you very much, Karen. We're going to give you a sneak peek of Bruce's new CD in a little bit, but first we got some business to get to. Let's go back to the studio. Felicia Taylor and all the day's headlines. Wish you were here, Felicia.
Oh, me too, Jane. Good morning, everyone. In the news this morning, excessive heat knocks out power across Manhattan and Queens this morning. Some residents in Jamaica have been without power since late last night. McGee Hickey is live in Jamaica now with the details. Good morning again.
Good morning, Felicia. About 4,800 customers in all in Queens and parts of Brooklyn were without power throughout the night. This is what it looked like in Jamaica, Queens, just a few hours ago. A 5-by-5 block area of Jamaica was in the dark all last night, starting at about 10:30 last night. Into the wee hours of the morning, power was back on at about 3 a.m. Now, a Con Ed spokeswoman is telling us the power is still off. There are scattered outages still in parts of Douglaston and Whitestone. That's because of the fire at the Orion Power Station in Astoria. That's the former Orion Power Plant. It's now a private power company that does supply power to the area, so that's a reason for some of the power outages over there. There have also been other transformer fires because of the heat wave and the power problems. Con Ed officials are bracing for another day of record high temperatures, so they're giving us these power-saving tips we want to pass along to you. You should turn off the air conditioning when not at home. You should set your air conditioner thermostat to 78 degrees. Use a fan instead of the AC if you can. Close shades and blinds to keep rooms dark and cool as much as possible. And use major appliances like dishwashers and washing machines only late at night and early in the morning if you can. And try to keep cool. I'm McGee Hickey in Jamaica, Queens. Back to you, Felicia.
Thanks, McGee. Investigators should soon learn more about that Amtrak wreck outside Washington, D.C. They found a pair of onboard recording devices. More than 90 people were hurt on Monday, 6 of them critically, when the train jumped the tracks in Maryland. Federal officials say the event recorders, similar to airplane black boxes, will tell them how fast the train was going when it derailed. There's speculation that extremely hot weather may have caused the tracks to warp. A visibly exhausted Pope John Paul II continues his 11-day trip. This morning, he'll leave Guatemala for Mexico City. And that's where NBC's Sonia Crawford is now with more. Sonia?
Good morning, Felicia. It's an overcast morning here in Mexico City, but one filled with anticipation. El Papa is coming to town, and his visit will be historic on many levels.
The sounds of praise fill the Basilica of Guadalupe as workers prepare for the Pope's visit. 50,000 are expected Wednesday at this, the most popular religious pilgrimage site in the Western Hemisphere. It inspires sacrifice as some of the faithful approach on their knees. Others leave overwhelmed.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think he heard from my family and my wife. This is very good.
Mexico City is making sure it's ready for the Pope. Barricades are up, security officers are on patrol, and the vendors are out. Ready with everything from rosaries to Pope buttons. The streets are filling with pilgrims anticipating a spiritual renewal.
Each one of them have, their petitions to bring to Our Lady of Guadalupe, and they want to be also part of this historic moment for Mexico and for all Catholics.
Historic in that it's the aging Pope's likely last visit and the first ever canonization of an indigenous Mexican.
A brown-skinned Virgin Mary is said to have revealed herself to Juan Diego, the Aztec Indian. He will be canonized at a special mass on Wednesday. Live in Mexico City, Sonia Crawford, now back to you.
All right, thanks, Sonia. And now back to Asbury Park, where Jane and Maurice are enjoying the shore and a beautiful sunrise just a few minutes ago.
Oh, absolutely. It's a gorgeous sunrise. We got a nice little breeze going here. You sit here and you look at how beautiful the shoreline is, and you wonder why on earth people aren't here all the time and why this town has gone through so many ups and downs over the years.
Well, and it has, as has the economy of a lot of the shoreline here in New Jersey. But our reporter Pat Battle is here, and she has been checking out the past, looking forward to the future, and has got an overview for us. Pat, how are you?
I am really good because I'm home. I am a Jersey girl. Was born right here in Asbury Park. Grew up in
With its wide beaches and its boardwalk, shops and amusement piers, Asbury Park was once the tourist destination along the Jersey Shore, in its heyday drawing over 1 million visitors in a good summer. That was then, and this is now. Decades of neglect have left this gem along the New Jersey shoreline literally falling apart.
What do I think happened to Asbury? The wrong people took control of Asbury and made it go the wrong way. And once it started going downhill, it just kept falling, the snowball effect. Nobody came here to pick it up.
Indeed, while other towns along the 128-mile Jersey coast have flourished, Asbury Park was left drowning in decay. Its once gleaming oceanfront now shuttered and silent. The once famous Palace Amusements, a sad sight, as one redevelopment plan after another was literally abandoned.
I grew up there, and I remember going to the Palace Amusements and everything.
Mary Lou Halverson is a member of the state's Tourism Council and markets the very successful Jenkinson's Pavilion in Point Pleasant Beach, just a few miles south of Asbury Park. She sees the potential to bring the crowds back here and says if the most recent proposal takes flight and the tides of redevelopment finally do come to shore here, it can only mean good things for the rest of the coast.
Any development for any of the shore areas is only positive for all of us. It just markets the Jersey Shore, it markets the state, just collectively on a whole, and it's only good for the whole state. I think Asbury Park, actually, I would love for that to happen.
The latest plan offered by Oceanfront Acquisitions would bring housing and commercial space to the oceanfront, and the state has committed not just money, but help in getting permits approved for construction. There are new signs of life downtown. The Stone Pony still stands, and while the casino crumbles, Convention Hall hums with the excitement of the boss's return. Bruce Springsteen's legacy is part of the fabric that holds a thread of hope for Asbury Park's future.
In the middle of the dead winter, he comes down here and spends a week down here and does a show for, it's Asbury Park. It's not for him. It is a catalyst. It has been a catalyst. There's restaurants all around. There's art venues that are opened up. Asbury Park is a long, it's been a long part of my heart and soul. So I'm really glad to see things are turning around. It's got to come back. There's no doubt about it.
Now, as I was saying going into this piece, I am a Jersey girl. I was born here in Asbury Park, grew up in Neptune, and I can tell you from experience that I haven't seen crowds like this at the Jersey Shore in more than 30 years, probably with the exception of a couple of fraternity parties that were a little problematic. Now, Asbury Park has, of course, not fared very well. The rest of the Jersey Shore has. Tourists left behind some $30 billion in profits last year alone. So there are a lot of folks banking on the fact that this will be a catalyst for regrowth here in Asbury Park, and that this urban seaside city will return to its glory days. I'm Pat Battle, right here on the boardwalk in Asbury Park with a lot of friends. Having a good time. Back to you, Jane.
All righty, Pat. Mayor Kevin Sanders went to school with you, and he knows a thing or two about those fraternity parties.
You're in trouble.
He kind of nodded when you talked about that. We'll get into that with him a little bit later on. Right now, we're going to take a break. Coming up in just a bit, everything you've ever wanted to know about the boss and his music.
First, though, let us listen to a little bit of Born in the USA.
Welcome back to Asbury Park on a Tuesday morning on Today in New York. The sun is rising, so is Bruce Springsteen's new album called The Rising. And this song is a poignant one. It's called My City of Ruins. A lot of the music written, of course, after September 11th. It's poignant, it's emphatic, it's empathetic, and it's emotional. It touches a lot of buttons. And a lot of people here this morning have gathered to partake in that release of that first album since 18 years have passed since the E Street Band and he have recorded an album together.
That is true, and he actually wrote this song about the town of Asbury Park, but he never recorded it then. He sang it in one of those concerts right after September 11th, and it's so appropriate now. The words about Asbury Park, the words about what happened in New York City after the attacks. It just all meshed together.
And you see that with song after song on this album. It all touches you in a pretty deep way.
And here he talks about, you know, the empty streets, while my brother's down on his knees, my city of ruins, rise up. It's just very poignant.
That it is.
We are on the beach because it's a good place to be today, not only because there are thousands of people here, but because it is one heck of a lot cooler.
83 outside, but a little cooler by the shore. Chris, tell us all about the weather for everybody else.
You've gained about 5 degrees cooling off there. You're in the upper 70s for the most part along the New Jersey shoreline. As we check out some other numbers throughout the tri-state, low 80s to mid to upper 70s, doing it just about everywhere. Satellite picture. Notice that line of clouds and shower activity. Fires up in the heating of the day. There's some thunderstorms there. Right now, just a few light showers in northeast Pennsylvania. That's a cool front that will bring a change our way. Not today, though. We're back in the sauna. 97, watch for an isolated storm. 92 tomorrow, 91 on Thursday. Humidity drops. 88 on Friday. Maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm late in the day. Again, not a big deal for rain. And then cooler, drier weather by the time we get to Saturday, with temperatures in the middle 80s. But the heat advisory stay in effect for the entire tri-state area for today. Take it slow and avoid being outdoors between those hours of about 11 a.m. and 5. That's when it's going to be the hottest. But it's going to be heating up no matter what, guys, along the Asbury Park shoreline, I'm sure, in the next few hours with Bruce out there.
Looks kind of inviting, quite frankly, that shoreline, doesn't it? We might just jump in there afterwards.
Jump in.
Gorgeous
And then,
morning.
yeah, it's a beautiful morning here. It absolutely is. And of course, that time you told us to stay indoors, that's when I'll be napping anyway. So there we are.
That's a good idea. Hey, let's talk about Bruce, because he writes a lot about Asbury Park, and that confuses people to some extent. Makes you think this is his hometown. It's an adopted hometown. He was actually born in Long Branch here in New Jersey.
And then he grew up in another nearby town. Let's take a look at the young Bruce.
Freehold, New Jersey. Just like the song says, it is Bruce Springsteen's hometown, the place where he was just another teenager with maybe a few exceptions.
He was very reserved and kind of quiet, and what made me notice him, because I'm a musician myself, in those days I used to see him walking through the halls with a guitar case, which was unusual, you know.
At the time that he was going to school here, that the popular way of dressing for the majority of the students were modest shirts, penny loafers, the very preppy look, but he always came in wearing his black leather jacket, black pants, and looking different from the rest of the students, pretty much how he is today.
At that time, that led Frank Federici, owner of the family-owned pizzeria Federici's, to believe that Bruce was heading down a truly stormy road.
I remember a few times he used to come in the restaurant and he had no money. So he used to walk around bumming the pizza pie, a slice off of this guy, a slice off that guy. I mean, we used to say, oh, this poor guy's going to be a bum. Just a free spirit. But he loved music. I could never believe that he would be the star he is today.
But despite his stardom, Springsteen still eats at Federici's and enjoys his hometown.
My daughter was singing with a local singing group in the middle of town, singing songs from the 60s. And as she was singing, there was this guy standing next to me who was bent over with his little baseball hat on, kind of dancing back and forth and around with his daughter. And it turned out to be Bruce Springsteen.
The reason Springsteen resides close to Freehold is open to a lot of speculation, but Kevin Coyne, the Boroughtown historian, thinks it's because
Bruce isn't just from Freehold, he's of Freehold. When he's writing about this place, even though it may seem to us here very specific, it has that universality because it is this sort of miniaturized version of America. And I think that's why, you know, people are going to be sleeping out in Asbury Park, you know, to just for the chance to hear the songs coming through the brick wall while they're sprawled on the beach.
Just a little town boy. Now, do you know that he was asked not to attend his high school graduation because his hair was too long? They felt it was disrespectful. And when he was in the Ocean County Community College, some of the students said they had a petition saying they should get him out of there because on grounds of unacceptable weirdness. I suspect no one's saying that anymore.
And I imagine he's saying to them, how do you like me now?
That's right.
Good for him. We're going to take a break right now. A little bit later on, we're going to talk with Bruce's drummer, Max Weinberg. We're going to talk about the Stone Pony, the legendary Stone Pony, and a whole lot more. Right here from the Jersey Shore, Asbury Park. We're live on Today in New York.
And welcome back to Asbury Park on this Tuesday, July the 30th. It's starting to get a little warm here, but still, we're at the beach, and so that's a good place to be on this very hot summer day.
Nice little beat to keep you going, too.
Yes, it is. There is a lot going up. Thousands of people all hoping to see Bruce Springsteen in concert a little later on. Well, we've been talking about Asbury Park all morning, its revitalization efforts. Joining us now is Mayor Kevin Saunders. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Sixth generation?
Yes. My mother's grandmother came here in 1885.
And in all that time, I know you saw it when the place was hopping, and then you've seen it. You've lived the last few years with it being torn down, needing a lot of rehabilitation. I know you've got those plans underway. What are the prospects?
Well, the prospects look very positive. Things are going to be happening in Asbury Park after a 15-year hiatus. The city council, the government is much more stable, much more cohesive than it's ever been in the past possibly 30 years. We all have one common goal, and basically that's to revitalize Asbury Park, the rebirth of Asbury Park.
The state and private agencies are pumping a ton of money into here, more than $1 billion, correct?
Supposedly, yes.
And you're waiting on that.
Yes, I am.
Aside from that, how much has Springsteen meant to this community? Because without him, do you shudder to think what things would be like?
Well, he is a welcome addition to Asbury Park. He is the only one that's really supported Asbury Park. A lot of people say they come to Asbury Park for different things, but he's actually went in his pocket and helped support the nonprofits, the schools, and the city government in our endeavor on revitalizing Asbury Park.
What do you say to the people out there who say, I've been there, the place is run down? What do you want to tell them today?
That hope is here. Hope is actually here. The city is actually going to actually come back and be reborn, revitalized, because we are the jewel of the shore. We've just been dirty for a while. We're just polishing it up right now.
Well, you keep on polishing. Mayor Sanders, okay. Kevin Sanders, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you very much.
There's no reason this place shouldn't be packed all the time.
Not. With the largest beach on the shore, we have most beach, one of the largest boardwalks. People are going to come back just like they are today. We needed this national exposure to keep Asbury Park at the top.
All right.
Well, you've got it today.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
All right. Right now, we're going to take a break. We are going to come right back to Asbury Park, live on the Jersey Shore. More of the boss and his new album and his thousands of fans who have gathered here to check him out. Today in New York, we'll be right back.
Back in Asbury Park, and looks like the exercise boys and girls are out. They're using the boardwalk to their advantage this morning, shaking things up a bit as we listen to one of the new cuts on the CD that was released last night. This one's called Waitin' on a Sunny Day.
Wait no longer, because it's here.
It's here. We have got a sunny day, and I saw you fanning yourself a minute ago. The heat
It's steamy. Imagine what it's like inland.
No, I don't want to. Thank you.
Do yourself a favor. Come on down to the shore today and get your workout in and then jump in the water.
Yeah, because you'll... Frank, why don't you just swim?
That's a good idea.
Exercise and keep you nice and cool.
Excellent idea. A lot of people who've read Bruce's lyrics or listened to his music feel like they know Asbury Park. If you do, it certainly feels that way.
Well, he talks intimately in these songs about the places where he has spent much of his life. Let's take a look.
Did you hear the cops finally busted Madame Marie for telling fortunes better than they do? For me, this boardwalk life's through, babe.
In Bruce Springsteen's song, 4th of July, Asbury Park, he captures a forgotten time when a small town was big.
It was just packed with people at night, and the bars, again, were packed, and there were, 5 or 6 major nightclubs here in Asbury Park. There were the movie theaters, there were the concert halls, and there were people on the boardwalk.
Stan Goldstein and Gene Mickle are journalists who, as a side business, give tours of the landmarks in Asbury Park that Springsteen made famous in his lyrics.
I think because Bruce's writing, there's always been a very great sense of place in his music, and he's used Asbury Park almost as a character, especially in his early work. In the Tunnel of Love video in 1987, he filmed in here.
And it was here along the boardwalk where Springsteen visited the psychic, Madame Marie.
And she told him he would be a success. But then I've heard him say she probably told that to all the guitar players around here at the time. She got one right, though.
To his fans, Springsteen's frequent references to Asbury Park has made the town a must-see destination.
They know about Madame Marie's. They've heard the word casino. They know about the Stone Pony. He still comes back and plays here and hangs out here sometimes, and they want to see those places.
Thousands of tourists have done what I'm doing right now, taking a picture at the corner of E Street and 10th Avenue in Belmore. E Street for the band, 10th Avenue Freeze Out for the song.
We get a very sad reaction from people who are shocked to see, how much is run down, how many of the buildings are kind of abandoned, broken windows and stuff, and they don't understand how it's gotten to this point, and they'd really like to see it come back.
And Springsteen is doing his best to please his fans, to revive his city of ruins.
I think he's been very generous to the city. Certainly, he brings a lot of attention to Asbury Park. He's a very great supporter of what's going on here. It would be hard, I think, to do it without him.
And as Asbury Park therefore ages, hopefully it will return to its youth.
So we're all trying to figure out how to be rockers and grow old gracefully.
The guy made a good point. He talked about how your mom, when you were growing up, told you not to listen to rock and roll because it was going to fade away. Well, it's never faded away. And while our parents listened to, you know, Frank Sinatra and Glenn Miller and those sorts of things, we still listen to rock and roll.
Bruce is 52. What does he tell his kids?
I know, exactly.
Listen to it. Love
Listen to it.
That's right. Embrace it.
And this, by the way, is the tour that we just showed you with Jeannie and Stan. This is the tour book that they're just putting out. And they do give you quite a tour of the music that is started here, and then it's gone on to great and big things. A lot of legendary figures, so it's kind of fun to hear about it.
So check it out. All right. We are going to take a pause here. We're going to be back with a whole lot more. Max Weinberg. We're going to talk to some of the fans. We're going to talk to a whole lot of people who've gathered here on this steamy, muggy seaside Tuesday morning.
For more music.
On Today in New York. You got to love this.
This is a special presentation from News Channel 4 and Today in New York, live from Asbury Park.
It is 6:33 on this Tuesday morning, July the 30th, 2002. And we are here with a few thousand people getting ready for a big concert by the boss, Bruce Springsteen, live in Asbury Park. Can you hear anything I'm saying?
I heard them. First I thought they were saying Bruce, but what it is Maurice.
Oh,
Maurice, they love you.
They love everything going on
They
today.
do
They're here
today.
for good reason. The boss is on the cover of Time magazine.
And he's got his brand new
He is everywhere.
CD out.
Exactly. Came out at midnight.
Did. It was downtown. That's where they were selling it, just down the street here, which is, of course, the infamous club where he really got his start here in Asbury Park. Today's show's going to have his concert live at 8 a.m. this morning, and these folks wanted to get here so they could see it all happening. It is a beautiful day. At least it's a little bit cooler here than it is in the heart of New York City. But let's go back there and find Chris. Hi, Chris.
Still here, yeah. Weather cooperating, actually, for the concert a little bit later on. It looks like we're going to see at least the rain clouds stay away. It's going to be a warm, sticky morning as it is already outside. Temperatures in the low to middle 80s in the big cities along the eastern seaboard. Notice slightly cooler air to the west, some 60s and low 70s. There is a cool front that will arrive by the end of the day. But the heat advisory stays in effect for much of the tri-state for today. The heat indices could reach 100 to 105. Again, out ahead of that cold front, just about a 20% chance. A few folks may see an isolated shower or thunderstorm late this morning and early this afternoon. 97 the high. Then we go to the low 90s Wednesday, Thursday, and drop the humidity. Maybe a shower late Friday, then cooler finally by the weekend. Now back to the somewhat cooler boardwalk, Asbury Park. Jane and Maurice, back to you.
You should be here.
Thank you very much. Got to lose that tie, Chris.
Yeah.
Let's check out the ride to work, see what's happening, if the cars are steamed up or not. Karen, what's happening?
All right, Maurice, right now, if you're traveling out into Brooklyn, Bell Parkway, we've got the Panasonic Skycam on it. And good news there. Westbound belt, you can see a little bit of volume there. This is over at Cross Bay Boulevard. We had a broken down car in the left lane. Not anymore. Cleared away very quickly. Thank you very much. We love good news. Goethals Bridge closed both ways. That's not good. Loose construction played there. DOT has been called, but DOT just says head over to the outer bridge of the Bayonne Bridge. Not much help, but unfortunately, those are your only two alternates. So again, the Goethals Bridge is closed. Holland, Lincoln, they look terrific. No problems to report. Tappan Zee Bridge light and marvelous. Hudson River crossings are getting good shape. Mass transit's on time. And if you're heading into the city today, yeah, it's another day of alternate side parking in effect citywide. Jane and Maurice, back to you on a sunny boardwalk.
Well, it is indeed sunny, and it is starting to warm up a little bit. Thank you very much, Karen. We have some business to get to. Let's go back to the studio, get all the news headlines from Felicia Taylor, and then we'll celebrate a little more with the fans and Bruce. Hi, Felicia.
Hey, Jane. Good morning, Maurice. Good morning, everyone. We have some breaking news to tell you about. This time in Jerusalem, there's been an explosion in central Jerusalem, and police are reporting several casualties. Israel Radio is reporting the blast occurred near a food stand. Police say it was caused by a suicide bomber and that a number of people have been wounded. This would be the first suicide bombing in Jerusalem in more than a month. News Channel 4 will bring you more information as it becomes available. The heat is on, and the power is out for some residents in Queens. Several small fires have also broken out at transformer facilities. McGee Higgy is live in Jamaica with the details this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Felicia. Well, most of the power has been restored, but there are still scattered outages throughout the city. It was a tough night for about 4,800 Con Ed customers in Brooklyn and Queens who lost their power. In Jamaica, Queens, a 5-square block area was in the dark from 10:30 last night till shortly after 3 this morning. And in Astoria, a fire at a former Con Ed plant, the Orion Station, it's now owned privately to supply power. That fire was called in at about 2:30 this morning. The fire was put out about an hour later, and that's being blamed for a number of outages and brownouts in Douglaston and Whitestone. Those areas, for the most part, have power back on. Our last check with Con Ed, they said 234 customers in the Bronx and Westchester are still without power, and about 510 in Brooklyn and Queens. They're considering that's a pretty good number at this hour because they're bracing themselves for a very hot and humid day and be prepared for possible brownouts later in the day. Reporting live from Jamaica, Queens, McGee Hickey. Back to you, Felicia.
All right, thanks, McGee. Melodies of Mozart were replaced with a picket line performance at Lincoln Center last night. The musicians at the Mostly Mozart Orchestra are on strike. They rejected a final offer from Lincoln Center, saying it fails to include adequate job security. The walkout forced the center to cancel last night's free performance and 17 remaining concerts in the Mostly Mozart series. The center says 10 festival performances not featuring the orchestra remain scheduled. And now we return to Asbury Park, where Jane and Maurice are sitting looking great on the beach.
We are having a good time. Thank you so much. You know who's been inciting the crowd in the last couple of minutes? New Jersey Governor Jim McCready has joined us. He's here to see Bruce as well. Welcome. Nice to see you.
New Jersey's cheerleader-in-chief. Good morning. Thanks
Good morning. It's great to be here at Asbury Park and to see the boss.
Good to have you. $1.2 billion is supposed to make its way here to Asbury Park. You confident that it's going to turn things around quickly?
Asbury Park is a precious resource. I mean, the state of New Jersey is 127 miles of beaches, and Asbury Park is literally right in the center of that. And 3 miles to the north and 3 miles to the south, we have homes that are literally worth well over $3 million. And thankfully, over the next 5 years, we're going to have $1.2 billion worth of private development and investment in Asbury Park, and that's going to make a lion's share of a difference.
You're talking about something in the neighborhood of 2,000 to 3,000 jobs, 2,500 new housing units, but I guess the question is, in this economy where everybody's got trouble these days and we know the stock market has gone crazy, how can you be guaranteed that that private money is actually going to show up?
Well, we have a number of changes. First, within Asbury Park, we have ethical, competent leadership on the local level. I think that's going to make a significant difference. Two, you have a state government that wants to work in partnership with the private sector. We're working to provide the necessary infrastructure, bridge work, road work. And third, we've been working with the private capital markets to attract investments to Asbury Park. I mean, access to the New Jersey waterfront is a finite resource. There are only but so many miles of beachfront. And we're in close proximity to New York City and some of the major financial markets, literally in the eastern seaboard. And we fully expect Asbury Park to return to its once glorious status.
The boss has made a career out of singing and championing the little guy. How can you tell the little guy that he or she is not going to get displaced by all this money that's going to come in? Because that's inevitable in a lot of cases.
Well, we think it's going to be a gradual transition, and I don't think we're going to have that problem, because the long term is that we're targeting middle-class housing, middle-class construction, trying to bring back and attract the middle class. And I think part of it is, before you will ever get to luxury housing in Asbury Park, you have to provide for strong structural working class, middle class housing stock. And we will literally have over 3,000 residential units. But most importantly, we have some of the most significant private developers on the eastern seaboard taking a long overdue look at Asbury Park. And we think this is going to be a welcome investment, partnership between the municipal government, the state of New Jersey, and the private sector.
Well, Governor, we thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to go let you join that other New Jersey guy.
Let's hear for Jersey!
You got a favorite song?
Biggest fan.
I remember Born to Run.
Oh, there you go.
I wonder why.
Thank you, Governor. We appreciate it.
Think of that.
Have fun.
Take care.
See you next campaign.
We'll watch you singing along.
We're going to take a break right now. Coming up, we've got the drummer Max Weinberg. We've got a whole lot more right here.
We do indeed. Belinda Lopez will be back out with some of the fans, so stick with us. We're back from Asbury Park in a moment. You're listening to the theme song from The Rising, called The Rising. The Today Show, because of course those guys are a little bit down the boardwalk here. They're just getting ready for their show. Bruce will be performing on it live at 8 a.m. this morning, and that's why we have these thousands of people gathered here on a bright, summery, sizzling day.
Humid and sticky and wicky, too.
It is indeed. Now, you had an exciting interview before all of this. One of the guys from the old East Street Band.
I did. One of the guys from the old East Street Band would be the drummer, Max Weinberg. He's a star in his own right. He's on Conan O'Brien's show late night. He's taking a break to tour with Bruce. I sat down and had a conversation with him, and he played a few drums for me, too. Is it true that after a show, you got your hands in ice buckets?
Yeah, well, it's true. I have to soak them in ice water. I've had 7 operations on my hands for tendinitis. So, yeah, I have to kind of warm up and cool down afterwards. With Bruce and the East Street Band, we've been known to go for 4 or 5 hours. You know, we got it down to a little less than 3, I think, these days. But, you know, I'm 51 years old, so the job is to not pace yourself at all. Just
go for
full out all the time.
Talk to me about some of the people you've played with. Sting, Streisand, Meatloaf. How do you compare working with them with, say, Bruce?
Well, I think I played on the only unsuccessful Barbra Streisand record. And actually, she came in after I put the drums down on the song that they were recording. And that's, I think, quite a distinction, because I think she's only had hits. But I played on her one non-hit.
It's late night with Conan O'Brien. With Max Weinberg.
It's going to be a year. You're looking at anxiety from separation or just another excellent adventure?
Well, I enjoy it, and particularly enjoy my work here at NBC on the late night program. Of course, it's difficult to wrest yourself away from that, but we have such a talented band here, being led by Jimmy Vivino, and all the guys are so great that I know the band's in good hands. The show will go on, and I look forward to coming back when the tour's over.
Bruce's style, on the drums.
Well, here what you have at late night is, with the Max Weinberg 7 on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, is kind of a swinging style, which would be more like this. That would be more than a swinging style, you see, but when I play with Bruce Springsteen, the East Street Band, it's sort of pedal to the metal, full out. More like that.
That guy is in shape. To do that 3 nights, you know, 3 hours each concert, 46 dates on this concert tour.
Can I ask you a question?
He says this is what he was born to do. What?
He doesn't wear that tie when he's performing with Bruce, does he?
He does.
He does?
He's formal. He's Max. That's his whole thing, yeah.
He always wears the tie?
Weinberg, yeah. Check him out. Who knew?
There you go.
So watch, coming to a city near you. The tour starts on the 7th of August at the Meadowlands, by the way.
And then they're taking a break, and then they're going back out again, right? We're going to take a break, speaking of which. Otis will have the sports coming up next. And we are also going to have Linda come up here, and she's going inside the Stone Pony, so don't miss it.
I know your mama, she don't like me, 'cause I play in a rock and roll band. Why don't your pop don't...
6:49 on a rock and roll kind of Tuesday morning, live at Asbury Park, listening to The Fuse by The Boss, where it's like a mecca of rock and roll, almost a pilgrimage. There are people still streaming in for the concert by The Boss, which is at 8 o'clock on the Today Show. These folks are going to get to watch it on a TV screen.
Well, they are, but you know what? They're going to enjoy it anyway.
You better believe they're going to enjoy it together.
Because a lot of them have been at the Stone Pony all night. It's been open. Well, they started selling the CDs at midnight last night. Of course, Bruce Springsteen's first CD, or latest CD, called The Risen. And I believe it's the only place in the country that was selling them at midnight. The others had other people that wanted it had to wait till this morning to go to the stores and buy it. So the Stone Pony is, of course, infamous in his past.
That's right, for a lot of reasons. Let's find out why. Linda Lopez with that, and with some fans. Hey, Linda.
Hey, guys. Well, you know, you cannot know about Bruce without knowing about it, because it's an Asbury Park landmark. The Stone Pony is where Bruce started before he was the boss. So recently, I had to go check out the vibe there. Take a look. Bruce Springsteen may be playing to sold-out concerts all over the world, but before he was born in the USA, Springsteen's musical career was born right here at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park.
This is a lot of the Bruce younger days here.
I took a tour of the pony with the club's owner, Dominic Santana. He showed me walls and walls of Bruce memorabilia. Asbury Park has this horrible name, Beirut by the Shore. Why would you buy a business in an area like this?
Well, because
keep it how it was.
this is an endangered American treasure.
Bruce began playing at the Stone Pony back in the 70s, before he became a superstar. Former club owner, Butch Pielka, tells me he had never heard of Bruce before he played at the club.
And there was a lot of talk in the club. Oh, Bruce is coming, Bruce is coming. And I turned around to somebody and says, who's Bruce? And sure enough, you know, he came in. That time he was skinny and beard and hat on and straggly looking, you know.
But soon after that, Bruce became a regular.
There were times I had him bartend. He went behind the bar and bartended just to get away from the people. But how much should I charge for a drink? Charge anything you want, Bruce. I don't care.
Through the years, the Stone Pony has not only been home to Bruce, but many other musicians, including Southside Johnny, Vinny Lopez, George Thies, and Sonny Ken.
It wasn't so much the music, believe it or not, it was how people played together. Being able to do that was more important, you know what I mean? And I think that's what people pick up on in those rare moments when that happens. It becomes special, and that's why people still talk about the Stone Pony.
The club still continues today to bring in new talent. The day we were there, a band named Rana took the stage. But even with the new talent, the guys, and even Bruce himself, come back to the Stone Pony every so often to jam on stage. They tell me the place is like home.
It's always been a fun place. It's a place where people are pretty open. I mean, Bruce comes through here, I come through here, a lot of different people have been here, and you don't really get hassled that much. People come up and talk to you, but we belong here.
I love playing on the pony stage. Set me up right under the horse all the time.
There's been a lot of guys that have come through here. I mean, you know, the Jukes, Steve Van Zandt, Bruce, you know. I mean, it becomes redundant. It's Bruce.
Now, as Shane mentioned before, the Stone Pony is open right now, despite the fact that it's not even 7 o'clock in the morning, and they have been open since yesterday afternoon. They're actually holding a Bruce-a-thon. They're playing all of the Bruce albums, and they're counting down from Greetings from Asbury Park all the way to The Rising, the new one that's available today. And they're actually going to have a concert of their own later today, right around noon. They're going to feature bands called Highway 9 and New Blood Revival, so you can check that out. I might stop by the Stone Pony. It sounded like a good time.
Hey, they rock until they drop, Linda. Thanks a whole lot.
Yep, we all should. Let's go back to the studio now. Time for us to check out the sports. Hello, Otis.
Good morning, Jane and Maurice. Well, Orlando Hernandez made a strong bid to remain in the Yankee rotation. The Yanks got a runaway win in Texas. Former Yankee and Met Kenny Rogers on the mound for the Rangers. Pickoff attempt just a bit outside. Jason Giambi trots home, part of a 3-run top of the first for the Yankees. Top of the fourth now. Jorge Posada up at the dish. And he will chomp deep to left. Gone, his 18th of the year. Yanks take a 4-0 lead. Still in the fourth, it's Rondell White. That one deep to left center. It's 11th. 2-run shot. 6-0 Yankees. El Duque was marvelous last night. Bottom of the fourth, 2 on, 1 out for Texas. Juan Gonzalez swinging. Next batter, Rafael Palmeiro. He goes down looking to end the threat. Hernandez goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, allowing just 1 run. Yanks win it 9-2. Red Sox lost for their lead over Boston, now 5 games. Mets start a series tonight with Houston at Shea. Well, the Giants have finally signed their top draft pick, Jeremy Shockey, the tight end from Miami, 5 years, over $8.5 million. He'll be in camp today. Meanwhile, for the Jets, how about practicing twice a day in this intense heat? Well, their head man is right there with them.
People always ask me, why do you wear a sweatshirt? I've worn a sweatshirt my whole career as a coach, in the hot, because I want to feel how hot it is. So when I get a sense, when I start getting hot, I go, okay, and I know how these guys are feeling, you know. So I have an idea kind of in my mind what's going on, too. I think that's important.
All right, a little bit of NBA news. 12 charges have been dropped against Allen Iverson of the Sixers, leaving 2 misdemeanor counts for making terroristic threats during a July 3rd incident. And Knicks fans were hoping to get guard Andre Miller from Cleveland. Instead, the NBA leader in assists and budding all-stars going to the Clippers. He goes with Brian Stiff in exchange for Harold Jamison and the athletic Darius Miles. And that's a look at sports, guys. Bring me back a CD, please.
We'll do so.
All right.
Thank you very much. All right. It's a scorcher out here. We're going to talk about the weather, then everything else going on when we come back in just a minute, live from Asbury Park on the boardwalk.
And we have decided to take a little trip down here and see some of these great people that have come out today. You're listening to City of Runes, which is, of course, on the new CD, The Risen. And, of course, that was the song that Bruce sang in concert shortly after the September 11th events. And it is on this new, he originally wrote it about Asbury Park, but now it is so appropriately fit for what happened on September 11th.
That it is. Right now, we're going to check the traffic, see what's happening around the region with Karen Stewart. What's happening, Karen?
All right, Maurice, we go to Brooklyn inbound, Gowanus BQE combination. That broken down car at the Prospect Expressway clear, but you can see just beyond the bridge there, that long line of traffic. We've got a multi-car crash, injuries, 2 lanes are blocked, and then we've got a broken down car at Kent Avenue. Inbound Lincoln 10, inbound George Upper Deck 10, alternate side in effect today. Back to you guys on the boardwalk.
Okay, thank you very much. It is a raucous crowd that's actually quieted down. I'm shocked.
You show up and they draw fly away.
Is that what it is? I don't think so.
But you know what? We need to go check in with Chris because I am starting to heat up.
It's steamy, man.
Kennedy's building, temperature's on its way up. We have the heat advisory in effect all across the tri-state for today. The heat index 100 to 105, 97 the actual high, maybe a brief thunder shower, low 90s Wednesday, Thursday. A little cooler and drier by the weekend. I'm not at the beach, but I have my own beach ball, guys. Enjoy the show, have some fun. We'll see you a little bit later.
That we will. Thank you, sir. Hey, where are you guys from?
Ocean Township.
And you?
Middletown.
Someone here came from California. Who's from California?
And I want to
California.
And I want to show you these adorable little girls. Where are you guys from? Of course, they were born long after Bruce started singing. Thanks so much for joining us.
Starts now.
Have a great day.